Is it time for questions?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so 2 questions, Mataji. So this is a brilliant map. Just like captures everything, and we all took photos of it. And what is required by this process of involution is the purification, I think, of the antakarna is what we're trying to do of all of these subtle organs. And then also below too, the autonomic restless activity below that, there's a huge iceberg too, right? The unconscious, the subconscious. Okay, so
these are not all organs. Remember that.
Okay.
Organs are vision, taste, touch, sound, smell.
Right.
The rest are the way this energy functions as you move inwards.
Yes. Okay.
Changing aspects of the same energy.
And so the idea
becomes more and more psychological than you can say even neurological.
And so then the idea is through practice and through all the methods that you talked about, the 4 methods.
And one has to make one's own method by understanding that this is a map. Now do the walking. That's the idea.
The practice. Yes.
It's you can get a map, but nobody can walk for you. That's the main thing to understand.
And then the only thing is that power of concealment and the revealing and the concealing, the projecting, that power of Maya is within Prakriti. That is concealing.
Do not think of it as an outside something. It is within us. It is our own impressions, our own desires, you can say, whatever, which is hiding. It isn't as if Maya is standing outside somewhere which can be said to conceal something. Because it's universal, it can be seen within oneself, and there you have to work at it. It isn't as if outside I can do much about it. I can't. There are people who come to do that, like a Christ or a Buddha or a Sri Ramakrishna. They come to remind us that yes, it is everywhere, and this is the new method. Take it like this. But then the method has to be practiced by individual human beings. And if the majority understands and practices, then the power of Maya becomes less and less, and the civilization becomes more and more balanced. And if the minority alone remain, who believe in it and who practice, then the majority will be capable of creating more of the projection of whatever you like to call it, this illusory power, or what we usually call temptations and things like that. Today you can see a lot of it by the manipulation of colors and lights, and all kinds of things are there in today's civilization, where the mind is drawn outwards as if by force. So one has to become conscious that today the outside stimulation is very powerful. Yes?
This is in regards to page 31. Page 31, the second paragraph, middle of the second paragraph. It says, I slept peacefully and felt nothing. So if upon waking from deep sleep, you wake up and it's the words I get mixed up on. I remember I slept peacefully. The fact that I remember, is that not also a vritti? Is memory a vritti?
Oh yeah, it's a vritti.
So, and if it's a vritti, then is it still pure consciousness?
I remember shows that there was a witness, but it wasn't this personality. But because the light never goes away, the light of the ultimate witness never goes away. Not clear?
Yes, that is clear.
Therefore, because it is always connected to the individual consciousness, therefore, I remember that I slept. It's a modification, but the modification is absolutely without any content.
Okay.
That.
I think, Mataji, you said something very important, that there's a certain threshold, is what you're saying, that the more of us that keep doing our practices towards in that process of involution, then there's like a critical mass almost.
Oh yes.
That's what you're talking about.
It's absolutely clear that in every civilization there is a level of both ways,
Yes.
degradation as well as the upcoming current. Today the whole earth is involved, all human beings are involved, therefore these ideas are becoming current everywhere. So if majority takes it up and understands that the human mind, what it is capable of hiding and what it is capable of projecting, more and more people will try.
Vivekaparana.
Yes?
So then, this at the end of class this morning, when you were drawing some of the final arrows, you said the difference between Advaita and Samkhya philosophy is one of them is that the Prakriti and the Purusha there's no separation according to Advaita. There is no. So so Purusha with Samkhya, they have this idea of multiple Purushas, right? Where each is separate.
Yeah,
Purusha.
they do remember that these are ideas or concepts which evolved in ancient India. So there was a time when, let us say, many people were practicing and trying to understand. So out of them there are some who went quite deep. So Kapil Muni, who is supposed to have given us this map, he went deep enough to give us the analysis of the human mind, but he did not go deeper than that. So it's a question of how far I can go in one lifetime or how far I want to go in one lifetime. And there are philosophers of all kinds. In India, there have been many philosophers who have tried to basically understand what are the Upanishads saying. And you can see that the Upanishads have these three levels of dualism, qualified monism, monism. These three are there in every scripture. Even the epics, you will find all these three. And you need to perhaps keep in mind that any particular philosopher or thinker or sage in India would be giving you all the three, but the emphasis would be on any one in particular. Like Ramanujacharya. It isn't as if he did not realize what Godhead could be, yet he stayed at the personal aspect. Then Shankaracharya went beyond to the impersonal idea. There are many acharyas in India, and all of them are trying to say this is what the Upanishads are saying.
So how can I relate that then to the idea that as a group raises their,
They are at the level of either dualism or Vishishtadvaita. The next level.
You could have a group of dualism, you could have a group of Vishishtadvaita.
Oh yeah. Today dualism is very powerful. So majority believes in that. I and the universe, visible universe. So that is pure dualism. Or there can be even a level below that, which is I and the rest is multiplicity. Dualism is also not easy to practice. Dualism means I recognize something as apart from me, but there is something which is the same as me, which is also very difficult to arrive at. So civilizations have always tried to, some people have always tried to raise our consciousness beyond a particular limited barrier. And Advaita Vedanta goes to the ultimate level where it says reality is impersonal. It is impersonal, therefore it includes everything. If it is personal, it can't include everything. It's not possible. There can't be a God of animals who is separate and a God of inanimate nature which is separate and a God of human beings which is separate. But that's our conception. We like to think like that because we are always careful of saving our own personality. So it becomes necessary. That is how we see it. It is a necessity of the human mind to save itself, whether physically or mentally, emotionally, intellectually. In every way we are defending ourselves. And it's only when we let go of this defense that we can move. And it is hard. You must remember that it is not a simple thing. It's a very difficult challenge that the world throws at us. The world as well, we at each other. When we are asking another person to recognize my dignity, I am throwing a challenge. So we all do it at each other. So that creates all kinds of problems because we don't have any ordinary way of understanding these things, accepting that society or social structure demands that we have rules and regulations. We can't be abusing everybody. Society will not function. And when we start doing that, society starts breaking. It is breaking today. So we should understand that we are abusing each other. It isn't only possible to abuse each other through language that we call each other names. There are many ways of doing it, like we are abusing nature, let us say. That also is abuse. Exploitation at any level is abuse. And we do it in order to save ourselves or protect ourselves or survive. There are many ways of understanding that also. So when is it that I can take abuse and not react? Think of a Christ, think of a Buddha, think of a Sri Ramakrishna, only at that level. So these comparisons are necessary, that we understand when is it possible for me to take abuse and not return it. Yes?
Will you speak just a little? I think this is what you're talking about, but I missed the last part of what you said. We're always defending ourselves, but once we stop doing that, then...
Yeah. Once we stop defending ourselves, take it from these extreme cases. It isn't as if Jesus Christ couldn't have defended himself. He had the power. He did not do it. Sri Ramakrishna also, there are many incidents where you can see that he did not defend himself. The same thing with the Buddha also. So why don't they defend themselves? Because they don't look upon themselves as separate personalities. And we do. Not a question of good or bad. It's a question of being at a particular level where we feel the necessity of defending ourselves. And without defense, we feel we will not survive.
Mataji, is that the level where Carl Jung stopped? He stopped at the level of individuation?
No, individuation goes very deep. He did understand that there is a self within the personality around which the personality moves. If you look at his, what are those called? In this red book?
Archetypes.
No. There is a book called the Red Book.
Red books, yes.
In that he is given many mandalas. Mandala is a very ancient Sanskrit word. Mandalas are created even in Tibetan Buddhism, even in India. Till today they are created and then the central is thought of as the deity around which the world moves. And there are many rituals about that. So these mandalas he created, and he said that they came to him just like that. So they show he understood that there is a center, and the center is not the personality. The personality moves around this center, and that moving towards the center is what he called individuation. But the center, he did not think, you can compare him with Sankhya psychology. He thought everyone has that center, a separate center. He didn't want to go, or did not go, I don't know for what reason, because he didn't want to be called a mystic. It was a bad term in those days, and he wanted to be called a scientist in his own right. So but then when he when he talks about the collective consciousness, he's talking about Ishvara. He is talking about the universal. But he did not want to. He says in this last book, which was published after his death, Dreams, Visions and whatever, he says, I would call it God. He says that. You read that book, gives you the idea of what was happening to Western ways of thinking at that time. And the same current continues.
And speaking of this point at the center, is there a connection between the macrocosm and the microcosm? Is there
Macrocosm. I don't know whether he talks about that. I don't think he does. Or maybe he does. I would have to go and study again to find out whether he does or not. But these laws that he discovered about the individual, remember another thing, that psychology in the West arose as a therapy. And that's a very different thing. Because it's the individual who comes for some kind of a cure. So, because he thought of himself as a doctor, as a scientist who wanted to cure people, therefore his attention was given to therapy, not to that research which is called pure research or pure theory. He did not go into that. But he comes nearest to understanding, and his own visions that he had, they also prove that there is reincarnation. That he says in one place that he had this vision. He is trying to go into a stone temple, and he sees one is the stone temple, another is another place somewhere. He says he saw a yogi sitting there, and when he looked, he found his own face there. Another one is this stone temple, which he says he saw in eastern India or somewhere, because he talks about himself as floating at 80,000 miles above the earth. So these are visions, definitely they are known in India. So in these visions, he is discovering these in-between levels which Sri Ramakrishna talks about, that I went from one level to another, and on the way I saw these visions of deities on both sides. So he definitely came very near, and he also believed that maybe he would have to come back again to finish his work. It's those who are interested, it's very good reading for the Western person. And this book, what happened to that book?
We all have it. Yes.
Oh, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you reading it?
Yes, but
Yeah.
I have so much to read. Sister Nivedita also.
All right.
I'm going to read it in your
That is study, these books.
It's universal.
Mataji also, it's an aside, but Hildegard of Bingen's mandala visions would fall into this, and when she was finished, she said science and art are like that. And she was from the 1400s.
Oh
long
yeah.
Before Carl Jung.
Where will you go? Supposing you travel in any particular direction, it has to be the same kind
The
of vision.
universal vision.
Whether you travel inside or outside, it will be the same earth.
Mhm.
You can't change the shape of the earth.
Mhm.
So it's like that. Anyone who travels, these are the only two directions, either inside or outside, and depends on what road you take.
Mhm.
If you take the emotional road, you will have the mystics who are basically emotional about their visions. And those who take the impersonal, they will talk in different terms. That's all. Page 35.
Bifurcation and projection of consciousness. Sri Shankaracharya now talks about chitti.
No, this is chitti. Chitti would be mental. This is chitti.
Sri Shankaracharya now talks about chitti, which is the basic consciousness, and how it becomes bifurcated.
This is the chit of
Satchit.
Satchit.
This is within our internal system. He is telling us that this pure light is bifurcated because it seems to come through a hole, which is the I. We all call ourselves I, which seems to be just a unit or a whole. The light is coming through this unit, which in itself has the capacity to bifurcate with the help of the mind and sense organs. Reflection of consciousness. Buddhi appears to possess luminosity on account of the reflection of consciousness in it. Intelligence, buddhi, is of two kinds. One is designated egoity, ahamkriti, the other as mind, antakarna. Sri Shankaracharya tells us that the dynamic nature of consciousness called energy, prakriti, reflects in the buddhi or intellect, which is very near to the ultimate principle. This energy functions in various ways. For our understanding, we give it names. But the energy does not become compartmentalized. It is the same consciousness functioning in different ways. So it is the one and the same reflected consciousness, which under certain circumstances can be called ahankar, in another circumstance it can be called the mind. Ahamkriti and ahankar are the same thing. Ahamkriti literally means that which creates, with aham as the creator.
Now we are shifting from Sankhya to Advaita. Now the bifurcation of light is what we are studying, which seems to have been transformed into energy. Now, how that happens, how light transforms into energy is either you understand that it never gets transformed, which is pure Advaita, which says it's seeming change. It is not a real change. But we as limited minds want to believe that there is real causation. Real causation means one thing changing into another. We believe in that because we seem to think in past, present, future. And we have a very limited arena of our perceptions. So just as in my mind, one thought is followed by another, by another, by another, I think this is causation. And I apply the same idea to the external world also. So I believe it to be absolute truth, that this is the way things are. Whereas I tried to give you an image that if you look at an ocean from above, it isn't as if one bubble is the cause of another. It's a simultaneous vision. So then it's not a question of causation. But our mind, in its limited way, limited experiences, will always bring in the law of causation. So now he's telling you that there is no real causation. It is the same thing bifurcating. You can take it as real or you can take it as seeming. So if you take it as seeming, right here and now, I am the same truth, ultimate. Or if I want to identify myself with the causation of the kind that one is caused by another, by another, by another, which we learn from the theory of evolution, then I think in terms of time and space, and then they become absolutely real for me. So thinking can make it real and sort of seeming or real is something that the ordinary mind needs to jump to. Is it possible for me to believe that there is no real causation? That I am what I am just now, as I am, the same reality? If I cannot then work through the details, and if I can understand that there is a vision where there is no real causation. In quantum physics, they have come to that physically, that everything is laid out like that. So with illustrations, we also can. But we like to believe that there is a chronological time and we feel comfortable in it. Therefore, we keep it as our basic framework.
But then there's a choice in how we define ourselves. Like we can make
Yeah. There is a choice. If I want to get out of my compulsions, there is always a choice. But it depends on, again, do I want to or do I love this level where I am stuck? We believe that we are living at a level in real space, in real time, in real causation. It is a belief system from the Advaitic point of view. But this belief is not a simple belief. It's a very complicated belief. So I have to work with the idea of theory of evolution, theory of reincarnation, theory of karma, theory of causation. I have to work through all that because I find it impossible to believe I could be ultimate reality here and now.
Mm-hmm. Is it similar to something that happens? We all now have clear that the earth goes around the sun, but we still say we see the sunset instead of the rising of the earth.
Yes.
So we still continue.
Oh yeah, it's very difficult to get out of because our vision is so limited. I every day see the sun moving, I don't see the earth moving. So it's we would say it's normal, it's natural. But then we put a limit to what is normal and what is natural. It's my desire to believe that the earth is steady. I can't live with the idea that the earth is going round and round all the time. I can't make it my background. It's impossible. So then I come down to the limited idea and then I get busy with the other things.
This light is coming to us from somewhere, yet we cannot say it is coming from outside. Neither can we say it is our personal light, since billions of creatures possess the same I or egoity. The energy is coming from the ocean of consciousness, and we are part of this ocean. We are not separate bubbles with independent power. Behind us is the ocean of light, the power of energy, or God, whatever we may choose to call it, and we need to connect to that consciously. We are connected anyway. We could not survive without this connection, but we need to be aware of it. For that awareness, we need to reason it out. Could we possibly be the creators of the energy? We cannot function without it, but are we the creators? Or do we have to necessarily understand the larger picture? that we are not creators, we are part of the universal pool and thus partake of it. Think of the sun in our solar system. It is eating itself up, so to say, burning itself up every moment to give out that energy to plants and animals, which is what we eventually partake of. If we can thus understand that the energy is merely passing through everyone and everything, and that we are conduits, so to say, then we become aware of the dynamism.
If I remember that the earth is rotating and revolving all the time, then I would become dynamic. Do you understand that idea? I would not expect, or I would not be surprised and shocked when there is an earthquake. Because I know it is moving all the time. But to live with that kind of an idea, then everyone would renounce. Because you can't have that permanence at all, even physical permanence is not possible, then everyone would naturally renounce. That's the reason why we are being made aware of these things. Today especially. We don't really think like that, I know, but everything in the world today is making us aware, you better renounce. Because this is a place where you cannot remain steady. Same with the body. The body is also telling us, you cannot remain within it forever. So better renounce. Renounce in what sense? Commit suicide? No. Change your attitude.
Excuse me, Mataji.
Yes?
Something that's related to that on page 57.
Yes?
It says to expect predictability is one thing and to live with uncertainty is quite another thing.
Yeah.
If we understand Maya, the real functioning of Maya, we would be prepared to live with uncertainty.
Yeah.
That gives strength.
Oh,
I was
definitely.
wondering- Yeah, I was wondering if you could talk about
Well,
Yes.
to live with uncertainty.
57.
With all our capacity, we are trying to make life more and more predictable. Physical life, just look at the traffic on the roads. Predictability. Now, predictability can go so far, no further. So, either I spend my time in trying to make life predictable and get stuck, or I start living with the idea of uncertainty. So uncertainty would make me dynamic, and predictability would make me want to remain where I am, as well as expect that the world should function according to my idea, which it doesn't, or sometimes it does. So to live with uncertainty means to be on the move. Same idea that India has given. A person who renounces is not supposed to remain in the same village for more than 3 days.
Yes.
Live with uncertainty. India shows it. And ancient, perhaps ancient Christianity also showed it to some extent. But to become a wanderer on the face of earth means to live with unpredictability and uncertainty. So this uncertainty, the principle of uncertainty at the physical level, at the psychological level, basically it has to do with psychological level. We need to understand that we cannot expect predictability. So we get shocked and we get surprised and we try to fight with whatever, why is this like this and why is that like this. But if you look at all the sciences, they are trying to take us to predictability. But in physics, they have already come to the idea there is no predictability.
Mataji, are you using the word dynamism to mean like the ability to adjust?
Oh yeah, that also.
And
Yeah.
take up new
Yeah.
new circumstances.
Yes.
It's not a matter of I mean, I was thinking of dynamism coming, for myself would be taking up some action to create something or.
That also, of course, there are levels.
It's uncertain.
At
the.
The deepest uncertainty would be to realize I am a wanderer on this earth. So I can take nothing for granted. So taking things for granted is to want predictability. So it's a question of at which level I want to practice it.
But living with uncertainty is so hard.
But that.
Well, who told us life is not hard?
But that's the way out. I mean,
That is a problem, you see, of the human mind. It's very hard. So I would say that the evolutionary process, if I believe in it, was hard enough, being eaten alive. Was that hard? Because as animals, or even as whatever, this being eaten alive, which comes to my mind again and again, couldn't have been very easy. So we have passed through many hard steps, but we don't remember them, and that's why science is reminding us that you have passed through all this. So why not expect it to happen even now?
We all know that there is an inside where the I presides. This is not visible. We do become conscious of the body, of thoughts, of emotions, which means that this consciousness, which is appropriated by the ego, is either its own, or it also belongs to the ocean of consciousness, which is invisible, but is the steady background to all egos. There are ways of getting a hint, but the direct understanding is through direct experience. Otherwise, it remains in the shadows of theory, enveloped by doubt and confusion. Here we are concerned with this light that is percolating through the ego. Getting back to the ego in itself is not easy because it is mixed with our physical and mental being. But there is a unit principle within each one of us. We think of ourselves as units, not as combinations or as made up of parts. The fact that we refer to this as my body implies the relationship between the ego and the body, the object. The ego claims to be creating this body. We are certainly adding to life by eating food. We start life as a seed, but by eating food, by gathering energy, we develop this adult body. Internally also, we add energy to this system and we take that energy to be our own. In what way is it our own? We need to analyze and understand this. The mystery of food is hidden in the universe, in the sun, in the soil. What we eat is converted into the energy that we lay claim on as our own. How does it become personal from the universal? If we reason it out, we know nothing is our own, but the ego stakes claim of ownership. This ego has to be understood in its primary state. This light is bifurcating itself. One side is the ego and on the other side are the inner organs, the antakarna. We do not know the difference between the ego and the mind. Since we are already in a state of confusion, we just lump everything together and superimpose the idea of a unit on the whole body-mind complex. In what way are we a unit? A unit is undivided and inseparable, undifferentiated, and functioning through itself, not as a combination. The body is made up of many parts. Each part is made up of billions of cells. Each cell is made up of billions of atoms and so on. Science is proving to us that we are made up of multiple organs and billions of cells. Each cell could be called a unit. Divide the cell into atoms, then each atom could be called a unit. And if you break the atom's nucleus, then even that could be called a unit. So where is the unit? Science is still exploring. They have not come to the ultimate unit, even physically. Matter has in fact become completely metaphysical, although hard science denies this implication. Yet we know ourselves as a unit. Where does that belief come from? Is this concept an illusion? Is it untrue? each one of us refers to ourselves as I, then that, which is the I, must be a unit. The I cannot be the body, organs, or the thoughts. So where is this unit hiding? Are we interested in finding it because we are it? If we are not even sure of what exactly we are, then can we be sure of anything? If I the unit and if we have confused, if I is the unit and if we have confused ourselves with billions of cells or atoms, then whom can we blame for this confusion or ignorance? If science is telling us the truth, then who or what am I? In the opinion of the wild, the identity of the reflection of consciousness and of ego is like the identity of the fire and the heated iron ball. The body, having been identified with the ego, which has already identified itself with the reflection of consciousness, passes for a conscious entity. Now the problem is, how does the body become a conscious entity? The reflection of consciousness and the ego becomes one and the same, just as iron, which is cold by nature, gets red hot in fire. Water, which is cool by nature, becomes hot water when heated. They take on each other's qualities. Similarly, we, as the principle of consciousness, as manifestations of the universal I, get reflected in the ego and body, which are insentient but seem to come alive as the body and mind. Here it is suggested that although the body and mind are insentient, because of the reflection of consciousness chip in them, they appear to be conscious. To begin with, it is difficult to acknowledge that our body and mind, the universe, are insentient. The only way to accept this is to realize that they function mechanically and only the insentient or matter becomes mechanical. We say habits make us mechanical, and this is happening at the subconscious level. The problem lies between Jara, the insentient, the gross, and Chaitanya, sentient, pure consciousness. Today,
Question?
Yes?
So this part's confusing me now because I thought we were just saying this morning that each atom, however small we break it is, full of consciousness. So how can we, at this point here, call the body insentient?
This is the analysis.
Okay.
While you are analyzing, you need to understand that who is analyzing? I,
Wow.
who is standing at a very low level of understanding. So when I analyze, I take my position to be absolute. I haven't moved. I have to move to the level of the ultimate to understand that everything is conscious. Like take a Sri Ramakrishna who proved to you that there is nothing but consciousness, pure consciousness. Now, is his vision wrong or is my vision wrong? I have to ask this all the time. If mine is absolutely true, then what I am saying is that these people, these very rare people, are not telling the truth. See, I have to do that so that I understand that in comparison, my level of understanding is very, very dim. If not low, it's very dim.
So then, if we take it from a Ramakrishna level and the grass, assuming we could do, so would we say that each one, does the grass have an eye?
The whole universe has just one eye.
Yeah. So
to find it
yeah.
is the problem. Can I find it? What does it mean that I should find it? Become one with the ultimate. Then only, and then it is not divided. There is just one ego. There are not millions.
So does that mean the way that you're writing this is you're writing it from the standpoint of someone who doesn't know?
Oh yeah, analysis always means that you are trying to understand a thing from some level of understanding and take it to its ultimate conclusion. And in India, as I told you, they always shifted because human mind is also shifting and trying to bring the human mind up from a low level to a higher level. They are always jumping from one to the other. Read the Bhagavad Gita, you will find in the very second chapter he gives pure Advaita. Then he tells him, you are neither born nor do you die. So that is pure Advaita. And then he tells him that even if, let us say, you are defeated, then you consider yourself to be the body, no problem, you will be born again. And it is absolutely a law that that which is born will die and that which is death will come back to life. Then he says, all right, if you win the war, you will enjoy this earth. He's come down to absolute duality. So this going up, coming down is taken for granted in India, in Indian thought, because there is an evolution of understanding. It's taken as given that human beings are here to evolve with the help of understanding. So understanding, if it is based on, let us say, the ideas of this world is real, so he's telling him, if you win, you will enjoy this earth. Then he tells him, even if you consider the body to be real, it doesn't matter, you'll be reborn. Then he says, you will neither be born nor will you die. They look like contradictory ideas, yes. But they are not contradictory because they take into consideration all the human levels. Yes?
The sentence, the problem lies between Jada and Chaitanya.
Yeah.
What do you mean the problem lies between?
Between means we do not know how to discriminate between what is lighted and what is light. Like, take example, you will understand. We say the moon is beautiful. Where does it get its beauty from?
The sun.
Same thing. We do not distinguish, we do not discriminate. Same thing, let us say this body, which is visible to you. Supposing I depart, as happens when a person dies. The body is completely there. So if it had been the reality, how can it become so dead that there is absolutely nothing? So it's a question of, again, discriminating all the time. Remember that these ideas are based on the capacity to discriminate as a matter of course, not as a special qualification, but as a matter of course. That you have at least the intellectual capacity to understand that this discrimination is real. Go ahead, do it. And understand intellectually that these ideas are not untrue. Then it's a question of whether I want to follow it with practice or not.
Can I ask another question?
Yes.
To that analysis. On page 60, it talks about the other power of mind.
Page 60.
60.
Could you speak up?
Yes?
The other power of Maya conceals the distinction between the perceiver and the perceived objects which are cognized within the body. So is that, it seems contradictory to say that the power of Maya is concealing distinction, when actually it's the distinction that's the problem.
Again, the same thing. They give this example of the snake and the rope.
Yes.
When I see the snake, where has the rope gone? And when the light comes and I see it was a rope, where has the snake gone? See, the mind has the capacity to hide and reveal. it hides the rope, reveals the snake. And then the snake goes away, the rope is revealed. But you cannot say that it was duality to begin with. Duality remains in the mind. I have the problem of hiding something, then projecting something. Take another example, perhaps it's more beautiful. Take the Holy Mother walking in this lonely place in twilight, face to face with a tall man. Maybe she couldn't even see. Now, what does she do? She projects something, hides his robber nature, and projects the idea of a father. And that robber seems to respond to the Holy Mother as if he is a real father. So this hiding and projecting happens all the time. We do it all the time, but without really understanding how we do it. In our daily life also we do it, but we don't understand. And it is universal. It isn't as if some people have it and some people don't have it. Everyone does it in their own sphere of wherever they are. We are doing it all the time. So to realize that this is the way we function, then the distinction can become clear. But if we just look at the words, it's very difficult to understand how could it be. So with the help of illustrations, images, we can understand these ideas.
So Mataji, you're saying that power, I mean, it's within us. It's that Maya is not outside of us. It's happening inside of us, and it has to do with our level of attention.
Not only level of attention, it's a complicated something, not
Because
just
of all the
level of
lenses
attention.
inside of all these systems.
Darkness. Let us say that there is a rope lying in twilight. Now, the darkness is very important. What is this darkness in me?
Ignorance.
That's it. So I have to accept the idea, because a physical example shows me, oh, because there was no light, therefore I saw a snake. But then within us there is an area of darkness. Like, let us say the human eye has a blind spot. And where the optic nerve goes through to the nervous system, we can't see from that. But we never realize that I can't see.
So there's something inherent.
Inherent, or you can call it inherent.
Or is it from, and
It
that's
works at
distinct
all
from
levels.
desires.
Inherent seems to be, it's in my genes.
Well,
But it is not only the genes, it's psychology also.
it's all the way through.
It is all through, till the
All way
end.
through.
So can I just clarify one more thing?
Yeah.
So from Sankaracharya's standpoint,
Mm.
theory, then it's the distinction
Mm.
that we make between phenomena that is the mistake.
Oh yes,
Okay.
but that distinction can go away only through realization,
Yes. Okay.
not intellectually. Intellectually I can get a hint with the help of images or illustrations, but actually I need to transcend it.
So essentially, as humans who we are, we generally are over-differentiating phenomena.
Exactly. Evolution has taught us to discriminate.
Yes.
It has also taught us to renounce. It has also taught us many things if we would like to learn. I needed discrimination of the kind to find food. Then I needed another discrimination, all kinds of, the sense organs are made for that, discrimination. Now at the human level, I need a different kind of discrimination, which is psychological rather than physical. Then from psychological level, I need to rise to another level, which is metaphysical.
Begin with, on page 41.
Yeah.
To begin with, it is difficult to acknowledge that our body and mind, the universe, are insensitive.
Oh yeah, you
In the
done.
middle of it. Today, modern science is actually bringing everything down to matter, getting rid of Chaitanya and making everything Jara. Our ancient seers claim that everything is a manifestation of pure consciousness, while Jara is an appearance or Maya. This is the Advaita concept. Science makes us a combination of chemicals, and Advaita Vedanta claims that we are pure conscious. We are only pure consciousness. It is up to us to accept either claim and live and function accordingly. But there is an in-between level of functioning where both matter and
Just as
consciousness.
Mindu?
Sorry.
Yes?
You say it's up to us to accept either claim
Yeah.
and live accordingly,
Yes.
suggesting we have to decide that it's one or the other. But I thought we were in an age, where we have to kind of combine the Advaita and the Vishishta Advaita.
Yeah, we do, but Vishishta Dvaita does not say that this is not the creation of God. As creation of God, it is also conscious because God is within it. Vishishta Dvaita level is, it is immanent. God is immanent. Advaita says it is God. So the distinction is very thin, and we have to understand. It is duality, pure duality, which says there is Jada and Chaitanya. Absolutely two different realities. And then you move to the next level where you say it is conscious but covered by Jada or inanimate nature. So you need to leave that level. And ultimately, when you go to Advaita, it says the whole thing is nothing but the play of pure consciousness. But we can understand it only by taking these people who have realized it. And they show. So this showing is absolutely necessary.
But there is an in-between level of functioning where both matter and consciousness seem to coexist. If we say the body is pure consciousness, for example, then what happens after death? The body is still dead, but it is just matter with no consciousness. Then it is definitely not Chaitanya. Here the concept of the seeming reality of matter has to be taken up. The mystery of consciousness functioning through matter, therefore, has to be understood. Thus, we need to continue with the inquiry.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because when a person dies, the dead body, the life leaves it, life energy leaves it and it's dead. But the dead body also, the cells undergo lots of changes.
Energy does not leave it.
Consciousness leaves it.
Consciousness withdraws. It's like you have a gadget. Alright, everything is intact. It is not charged. It's that which we need to remember. So that charge comes from consciousness,
Okay.
pure consciousness.
Got it.
How the ego manifests itself. The identification of the ego with the reflection of consciousness, the body and the witness are of three kinds, namely natural, due to past karma, and due to ignorance respectively. The term chit-chaya is the reflected identity, the jiva atma. Here he has taken three terms, sahajam, natural, normal, innate, intrinsic, karmajam, both born out of action and dynamism, karma vritti, and bhranti janayam, coming out of delusion, ignorance, kranti, avidya. These three terms are the characteristics of ego, ahankar, the three ways that the ego manifests itself. To begin with, if I say I am, then that is the most natural and intrinsic level of existence. That is the simplest. Next, we bring in the dynamism and specify what, like I am so and so, the identification with some activity or someone. I know. Finally, we keep adding further attributes, qualifications, taking us further away from the intrinsic reality of I am. Thus, delusions continue. This is how we create the identification of the ahankar ego with a different entity. The empty ego carries the bits and pieces of mental and physical modifications that it gathers. To get some sensitivity to these concepts, let us go once again to the three states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is no ego, no universe, but pure consciousness is there. The reflection of this consciousness in a particular mind is born along with the ego at the moment of waking up. This is the state of sahajam. The next stage, karmajam, arises the moment we identify with the present waking state and are aware of who I am, a woman, a man, and so on. The next stage is the additional superimposition, such as adjectives of beauty, power, qualifications, and possessions, to mention just a few. And this is an ongoing process.
And that's why you said it's a black hole.
Huh?
That's why you said the ego is a black hole.
Oh yeah. Pulls in a lot of energy.
And can create a
Yeah. Typhoon.
typhoon, destroy.
Give it a name. What would you like to call this typhoon? We have given names to typhoons. Yeah, I can
Like
call.
that, yeah.
They have given
Hurricane
male
Michael.
and female names.
Oh.
All right,
Mhm.
we do the same thing.
You mean that's like our names, like us?
Ranu.
It could be me.
Working on
There you go. Yeah, we literally call it Hurricane Michael or whatever.
Yeah, Hurricane Ranu.
Okay.
And then,
No,
then
it'll be
measure the
Alice
speed.
soon.
You know, it's a very good exercise. Measure the speed. At which speed is the typhoon going round and round? And where is it going?
Yeah. Travels fast, quickly.
Yeah, we can. Where are my ideas going? Where is my emotion going? If emotion takes over, it's going to create what? Which speed? What speed?
Light speed.
Mataji,
Yes.
might be kind of an off-the-wall question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. In these different states, it talks about the dreamless state. But is it true that in the dreamless state, when you wake up, you feel like time has passed? Or
No sense of time, space.
there's no sense of time,
There is
space?
deep sleep
No
means there is
No
no
content.
sense left.
So that would
Space
be my,
vanishes, time vanishes.
that, in my experience, has been the closest to when you have an operation and you go under anesthesia. It's like, it
Yeah.
just,
That's the
and
idea.
it's just,
Yes,
That's the
right,
idea.
right.
okay.
Mataji,
Yeah.
what is the meaning of the karmajam?
Pardon? Karmajam.
Next karmajam, what is that?
Karmajam is the ego connected with all the impressions, past impressions. Then when you start identifying with the impressions of this life, that is, I am a woman, I am a man, I am educated, uneducated, I am millions of ideas. And then it becomes a typhoon.
Page 44.
Yeah.
Because we do not remain aware of the dynamism of this universe and of our individual mental and physical dynamism, We do not understand the cyclic nature of this functioning. We perceive the movement as linear, which it is not. We like to divide all the movement into a clearly defined past, present, and future. There is no such earmarked division of time within our experience. It is a spiraling process, and there is a circular or cyclic movement. There is perennial movement in the ocean of experience. We cannot divide it into compartments. If we want to call it permanent, then we will remain caught in the whirlpool. Look at experience. Is it true or not that the moment one wakes up, there is an instantaneous snapping into this identification? We have done this billions of times again and again. The process of evolution is ongoing.
This idea of cyclic, dream, sleep, wake, dream, sleep, wake. So it goes on and on and on, but we do not think of it like that. If you could use that imagery as a meditation, it helps also. Who is passing in these three states again and again and again?
The ego.
I would say, then I would realize I am separate because I am watching. I am watching in the waking state, in the dream state, in deep sleep also to some extent.
It's only the subject that's passing
So
through
I
all
am
three.
the permanent
Yeah.
resident, you
Yes.
can say.
It's only the subject that passes through all
Yes.
three.
Yeah.
The mutual identification of the ego and the reflection of consciousness, which is natural, does not cease so long as they are taken to be real. The other two identifications disappear after the wearing out of the result of karma and the attainment of the knowledge of the highest reality, respectively.
This is, I don't know whether you want to go deeper into these or not.
Yeah.
You want to? Well, if I try and ask myself what I have superimposed on myself in this lifetime, I can work it out. I needn't believe that I am just this personality, this name, or this body. I can work it out and remove it little by little. After all, it's like removing even now I suppose it's there after. Supposing you have a room and just on the door there is your name, just the name. But supposing you want to add your educational qualifications, you can say so and so MD or whatever. Supposing I remove it, I have removed one superimposition.
Top layer.
Reminds me of a joke. A man wanted to become a fish seller. So he goes to somebody and says, can you make me a, what is it called? A nameplate saying, fresh fish sold here. So he asked, how much money? The fellow said, maybe something, $100 or whatever. So he says, that's too much. Why should I write sold here? I am sitting here. So remove sold here. So how much now? Maybe he says 80 or 70. So he says fresh fish sold here. Fish, it's fresh, it's fish. Anybody can see. And then fresh. So why should I write fresh at all? Because can't you see?
It's swimming.
Remove the nameplate, nothing is left. Whatever is there is there. So that's the way to remove superimpositions. Who am I? What am I?
Just
Remove it mentally. Nobody is saying remove the plate from your office. So he says that you can remove superimpositions of this life by working it out and understanding they don't qualify you in any way. Nobody really wants to believe that you are MD or you are whatever, excepting your patients. Then the result of karma, tendencies. try and work them out and slowly remove them or at least control them. Then there is an identification which is very deep. The connection of the ego with the light of consciousness. Now that, can it be removed or can it not be removed? There are theories about that. That will come only when your prarabdha karma, there is such a thing as called the result of karma, which has been following you inherently in the sense of the subtle body from time immemorial. So that's very difficult to let go of, and that will come only when you become one with the ultimate reality.
But when, I said this earlier, but with Nisargadatta Maharaj, how that was the practice his teacher gave him, right? Just every free moment, try and find the source of that I am sense.
That's the prescribed this thing of Advaita Vedanta. This is what Raman Maharishi also did.
Maharishi, yeah.
And so they get back, and then so the idea is once you can sense that source, once you feel it, and what you just said was that you might still have to, there might still be some remaining karma left, but as long as you can hold on to that, then. Mm-hmm.
As long if, when.
I have a question.
Yes.
According to Ramana Maharishi, at least what I understand, is that if you keep tracing the ego back to the source, it actually is part of the source. It becomes that. Or it melts in it.
Say it again. But that is the whole idea.
Oh.
If the bubble breaks its shell, what will happen to it?
It becomes part of the ocean.
That's the idea.
So that means the ego is really a non-entity. It becomes part, it is that pure consciousnness if
Yes.
it melts into it.
Yeah, of course.
It is.
Of
So why
course.
do we say it's so bad?
Why do we say? Because of its desire to superimpose.
Okay.
The ordinary ego thinks it will gain some value through superimposition. That's what makes it want to keep on this game of superimposing till one realizes it's such a burden and I want to get rid of it.
And that getting rid of that burden or that superimposition, as I understand, is basically a mental, thinking about it, intellectually understanding it and saying it's not worth it, drop it.
Yeah, usually it is, but India has given another method also. It's the idea of the wanderer who loses all identity. Nameless. Become nameless on this earth. Become a wanderer. Living not more than 3 days in a village is the same idea. That you have no superimposition. Because nobody knows your name.
Is that what that emphasizes, that, or illustrates, is that the reinforcing of the name, and that often comes from our environment, those around us who keep saying it. So if you keep moving and not ever around the same people.
It doesn't come from the environment. It comes from my acceptance of what is given to me, or what is what I am made aware of right from childhood. My mother says something about my nose, about this, about that, and then it goes on increasing. You are this, you are that.
Does a baby have an ego? A newborn baby.
Oh yes, because the past is there. The past karma is there.
Does it know?
That I won't know. It develops. It's definitely there, but it develops because it has to become manifested with the help of the nervous system. And the nervous system itself has to develop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you using superimposition?
Pardon?
Is superimposition the same as identification? Or are you
Yeah,
using a
yeah,
separate
yeah,
way?
it's almost the
They're
same
the
thing.
same?
Yeah. But
Superimposition.
when you use the word superimposition, I think you see it in a different way, and identification you see in a little different way. These are the difference in the words, actually. What we really mean by superimposition
Adding on.
and what we mean by identification.
Isn't superimposition implying adding on?
Yeah, adding on, and identification means that you have suddenly, from a rope, you have become a snake.
Mataji?
Yes?
There's, I don't know if you've seen them, there are these pictures that they're both an old woman and a young woman at the same time. And your eyes, they sort of trick you. First you see one, and you usually get stuck on one until somebody tells you, then you can see the other. So the imposition is the changing of that image as you see it differently, but the identification would be identify with that.
Oh yeah, my tendency would make me identify with something that I like. Superimposition is also the same thing. Why do I want to add? I used to find it very funny. A lot of young students used to come to me. I used to take a class. I would ask them, young men, and I would ask them when they took up a job or something, how much do you earn? I wanted to know. So they would quote the yearly income, not the monthly income. Previously, we used to think like that. How much do I earn means my monthly salary. But then I noticed that they are changing it. Why do they change it? Because this is the ongoing superimposition, so that you can impress another person. That now I don't earn 10,000, I earn 100,000. So I am worth that much. See, this is the meaning. When we start thinking of ourselves in terms of something that I consider valuable, then that value superimposes on me and my real value is hidden.
Yes.
That's the play of Maya. So I am as I am vanishes and I am equal to $100,000.
I sold myself.
Huh?
I just sold myself for it's kind of like a king, somebody who's really like royal and kind of selling themselves for
His
a few
Majesty,
pence.
Her Majesty. Of
It's
course.
kind of, it's a little bit like that. That analogy is there.
Of course, in everything
Yes.
it is there.
Yes. But Mataji, I just see that ego because you've got so many arrows from Rajas coming there, then you've got arrows leaving there, then you've got the arrow of attention going there, and then it going to Buddhi. So, there's a lot of things happening at that point of the ego.
Yes.
Not here.
Everything is happening.
Things are not happening here.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're only words.
So it's like a major, it's like lights, can't.
So take it back to its core form. I am. All right. Practice that. I just am. Then I can move to something, because as long as the mind keeps adding value and thinking of itself in terms of how valuable you are, it will get stuck.
Or be a bubble.
Pardon?
Just think of myself as a bubble in the ocean.
Ah, yeah, you can.
Oh, good. I have a proof.
Be anything.
Big bubble.
Ah, you can become an iceberg.
There we go.
Shall Shall we move?
Oh yeah,
7
you know
o'clock
the
show.
tip of the iceberg is the ego, and the rest of the personality is hidden. So you have to work it by
Yeah.
one drop by one drop.
Oh no. Hope not.
Think of it. Think of melting a whole iceberg. That is what the ego
Is-
does.
you're
That is
we're
what the
asking to do.
typhoon is.
Yeah.
Melt it little by little. Bring it above.
Right.
Mm. That's what psychiatrists do when they tell you to tell your story. That's what they are doing. Bring it up so that you can look at it.
And depending on the charges of the hourly charges, you bring up your story much faster.
I have no story.
How much do they charge?
The psychiatrist?
Yes.
I'll tell you, close to $350, $400 an hour to hear your story.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry, I've been a very bad assistant to you. People wanted private interviews, I should have fixed it. Very bad, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I am not a psychiatrist.
You're more than that.
Don't catch
You're not a
me.
psychiatrist, you just say rip it open.
Yeah.
That's it, and get out of here.
You're not doing your job here.
All right.
In the state of deep sleep, when the thought of ego disappears, the body also becomes unconscious. The state in which there is a half manifestation of the ego is called the dream state, and the state in which there is a full manifestation of the ego is the state of waking. All activity of the present and the samskara or tendencies of our past lives that gives us or has given us this body is called karma. This body is thus called the karmic body. It is a collection of karma, that is, made out of karma. Therefore, when the ego does not identify with the karma, then the body also disappears. Without the ego, there can be no awareness of the body. Think of the ego as the hole through which the light of Brahman is coming. The light is either more focused, less focused, or not at all focused.
What does that mean, ma'am?
What does that mean?
So when the light is not
Look
focused.
within yourself and you will see that the ego can be very sharp, it can be half awake, it can be fully awake, or with the amount of, supposing you are facing a whole hall full of people looking at you. Think of your ego. What does it get? If it is not palpitating.
It's getting a big charge.
Yeah.
Gets charged.
You get that energy and it wakes up. It's like the light of so many eyes give you that light. And then think of your dream state in which it's half asleep. And deep sleep, it vanishes. It's a play of light.
When is the light most focused?
When?
When?
In samadhi. You ask for most.
Or how about more?
What about more?
It's more.
All right.
Instead of most.
More is when you are in the presence of your boss.
That's true.
Isn't it so?
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford to sleep in front of your boss. You are awake. There are 2 minutes left.
Should I read 2 words? Or 1 sentence?
Let's finish this. Come.
Finish what?
Finish these 2 pages.
Prarabdha is enlightenment and Kshaya is wearing out. Thus with understanding.
Prabodha.
Prabodha is enlightenment and Kshaya is wearing out. Thus, with understanding, the identification wears out. How does the identification wear out? By analyzing and looking at our experiences, we can take the energy out and direct it out inwards, which helps us to move nearer to the source of light. Looking at the objective world can be from two aspects. One in order to enjoy, another in order to understand. In the former, we remain completely involved and that keeps us spiraling. In the latter, we are separated and we look at the experience and draw the energy out of it. We do this many times when we reflect on past events. We do recall events and experiences for the sake of enjoyment. But more often, we tend to rerun experiences that have been problematic or painful because they hold more energy and leave deeper impressions. Therefore, we rerun them with an almost self-destructive motivation as we give them more power with the attention we pay to them. Alternatively, we can separate ourselves and look at such experiences objectively and take the energy completely out of them. Our own identification does change over time, and if we have really gathered some understanding, we realize that the ego has let go or loosened somewhat. For example, experiences that we felt very deeply about or we reacted very dramatically to or sharply towards at some point of time now leave little or no impression or reaction in the mind. When we start feeling that we do not care so much for argument or do not wish to get into things too deeply, then it shows that ajnana or ignorance is wearing out. Of course, a similar reaction can come out of callousness or indifference as well. Basically, it is a question of withdrawal. We could withdraw because we couldn't care less, or we are indifferent, or we could withdraw because of deeper implications, that we are getting aware of what life is. We accept that certain things will happen the way they do, and so there is no need to feel so intensely, and that we are not involved. With this, we are detaching ourselves. The three states of consciousness, as Sri Shankaracharya mentions in Shloka 10, are the states of waking, dream, and deep sleep. In the waking state, the ego is fully manifested. In the dream, it is partially manifested. And in the deep sleep, the ego disappears, but I, the witness, remains.
You want to continue tomorrow also? I have no problem.
Is there one more sentence?
Continue reading.
Indu, there's one more sentence?
Before the next section.
There is one more sentence. I
Yeah,
think.
that connects to the next one.
That's connected to the next one.
Oh,
Okay. Is it on top of page
No,
40?
actually, we can. The Jivatman loses its separation completely when it merges with the Sakshi Chaitanya, the witness, with Brahma.
Should we say finished, or should we say we'll continue?
To be
We'll continue tomorrow.
Yes.
All right.